Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to start by thanking our partners, African Capacity Building Foundation, African Media Initiative, and the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, with whom we've worked together in order to join our skills, network, and knowledge to make Africa a better place. Now, I have a simple question for you. I know we have a very diverse audience of private sector, media, civil society. Who's tried ever to push a plane on his own? If somebody has succeeded, I'm happy to see that person raise their hands. Now, I'm using that parallel or that metaphor because the real point today is that none of us will change Africa on their own. And the key idea of having those institutions gathered in one place to try to make and change the African agenda is because together we're stronger. And the idea, instead of having one pushing on their side this week, another pushing on their side next week, or one pushing yesterday, we all push the Africa plane at the same time, at the signal, so that it can ultimately take off. It's behind that philosophy that we started Africa 2.0. Africa 2.0 is a community of young emerging leaders from more than 42 nationalities and basically having a footprint across Africa in 22 countries and a chapter in France, UK, North America, and China. As a collective, we decided that we need to come with a plan for Africa because what has united Africa in the past is not what will unite it tomorrow. Back in the days before colonization, or at the time of decolonization, there was the concept of the common enemy that was uniting Africans. Now, we're getting closer to the 50th anniversary of the Organization of African Unity. What is going to unite Africans is now the sense of common goal. And I think with AMI, with ACBF and Mo Ibrahim, we're working towards that direction. The reason I'm here today is actually to discuss with you this document. Now, some of you can see it, and those who are interested in getting it will have to come to us and we'll share a copy with you. This document is the Africa 2.0 Manifesto. Basically, it gathers the thoughts for 18 months of 350 young Africans in 40 locations around the world who've worked on a common platform to come with a common vision for Africa. But we did not stop here. The idea is to make this vision a reality, and that's why we're partnering with key change agents like the ones I mentioned. In partnership with AMI, we realized that the media is here to cover the news of today or yesterday. And we thought, if you spend your time looking at today and yesterday, then tomorrow will never happen. So we joined hands and considered how can we make social engagement a reality. We are in an era where ultimately, media is evolving towards user-generated content. And you can see it in Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Even the media now talks about those media as news. Now, as African media, how can we make the news of today? We decided that this could be a good template. It's basically 80,000 hours of work from young leaders, highly skilled, knowledgeable, about what could make Africa tomorrow. And this vision today is to be discussed in 2013 in a partnership with AMI that is called the Africa 2.0 series. Because it's nice to have a book, but if it stays in the closet, then you've worked for nothing. The whole point is to bring knowledge, know-how to the people and get them to also contribute to make another book that will be stronger than this and will become the testimony of this generation of Africans. How are we going to do it? The manifesto presents a vision based on 4 axes: uplifting Africans, inclusive growth, upgrade infrastructure, and growth-enabling environment that is based on a social contract between private sector, government, civil society. And it's driven by 4 forces that we believe are the change makers of Africa: the youth, women, technology, and diaspora. The idea is to bring now the discussion to the people and use the media to engage Africans on Africa of tomorrow by releasing every month on a specific theme. The themes will be human capital, entrepreneurship, rebranding Africa, involving women, involving the youth. So some media and some newspapers have already signed off to this series. So let me the first one to sign off was the New African. So you will see in the release of this month, the Africa 2.0 series on nurturing human capital. Why is it important? Ultimately, we have developed a platform where any radio, TV, or newspaper can actually release those recommendations and gather inputs from the readers, the viewers, etc., to make the document better, but also to involve in sharing knowledge. Why do we do that? We realize that knowledge, unfortunately in Africa, is very concentrated in the head of a few people. And unless you make the way forward obvious to everyone, then you'll have a bigger group that would be led by a smaller group, maybe not in the right direction. So the whole purpose is to make the direction known to all and embraced by all. Now you'll tell me Africa is 1 billion people, 55 countries, and there are so many differences. True. But there are so many similarities among African countries, and that very book addresses what do we have in common that we can address, what are our common problems that we can solve. So I'm asking all of you today, and the key newspapers and media who are here and who are interested, to participating in the AMI Africa 2.0 Change Africa campaign that will start in January next year. And you need content, quality content, we have it here. And you want to engage your viewers on it, feel free to do so. It responds to a need that AMI expressed to us, which is how do we get the population engaged? Because most of the news would cover a few leaders or a bombing somewhere or a strike somewhere. But there's more than that in Africa. And especially our generation wants to hear a different story and wants to make a different story. To make that happen, we cannot do it alone, and we need stakeholders. So we invite whomever wants to make the news of tomorrow, because that's probably what's going to interest your audience, to come and join us and address the Africa 2.0 vision for it to become ultimately the Africa vision. I think I'm done, so we'll be available for any questions, and whomever wants to sign, we have pledge forms for those who want to join this campaign that is led as a bottom-up campaign about what Africans want for Africa. Thank you very much.